And the physical therapist would walk up to me and say, walk up the stairs. I go, why? The stairs don't go anywhere. Well, never mind, walk up the stairs. Okay, so you get up the top of the stairs, and then the physical therapist would say, good, now walk back down the stairs. Oh, now wait a minute. If you didn't want me to be up here in the first place, why did you ask me to walk up here? And she said, because you want to walk better, don't you? I didn't know any better, so I said, yeah. And what I learned at that moment was that was not a good thing to be disabled. What I learned at that moment was that if I wanted to be accepted, if I wanted a good life, if I wanted to have a job and a relationship, all that could be all I had to do was get over my disability. And the more I could lessen my disability, the better my life would be. And I really believe that. What I did was I linked ability with opportunity. I believe the more able I could become, the more opportunities I would have in my life. So I then turned into the kid that physical therapists only see in their dreams. We have a friend who lived in Courtney who had polio as a child. And she describes this as the Nazi in her head. And it's true. I sort of developed this little Nazi stormtrooper inside my head who said, what? Go up the stairs, raise your head, do this, do that, do that. I was bound and determined that I was going to beat my disability. And what I did was I declared war on my body. My body was the enemy. So if the physical therapist wanted me to do 10 repetitions of a certain exercise, I did 20. If she wanted me to hold some precarious balance position for 20 seconds, I held it for a minute. I was determined that I was going to beat my disability. I was going to conquer it because I didn't want it to impede the opportunities in my life. And that's how I lived my life until about the third year university. And then something else happened that categorically changed my view of disability. I was in a bar with a bunch of my friends, and one of my friends, Fred, was telling a story which involved me. And when he got to my part in his story, he imitated the way I talked. And he said, and then Norman walked into the auditorium and he said, oh, whoa, look at the lights. Oh, Fred. So afterwards he went, Fred, why did you imitate my voice? He said, because you talk like that. I go, yeah, I know, Fred, but look, I'm picking up the glass with one hand, I'm articulating my words clearly, I'm not drilling, I've got an academy performance going here. You imitate my voice and my whole show goes out the window. Fred looked at me and went, Norman, why are you trying to be non-handicapped? No one ever asked me that question before. So we drank a lot of beer that night. Around the second jug of draft, I remember suddenly figuring out in a blinding flash almost that I had the right to be disabled. I was under no obligation to anyone to minimize my disability. What I figured out was that I simply represented a normal part of the diversity and the spectrum of differentness in our community. And at that moment, it was like my body and I shook hands. And there was a silent calm that was in my body. And that existential calm that got triggered at that moment has existed in me ever since. But a couple months later, I remember sitting there, sitting in my room, and suddenly dawned on me that if I was living in a society that oppressed me by saying that I was deficient, and therefore, devaluing me. By trying to become less deficient, I was indirectly condoning the oppression that had been directed against me. And at a moment, I suddenly rethought the implication of physical therapy and speech therapy and all the other therapies that are designed to, we believe, help handicapped people. And I've started to wonder, is rehabilitation a form of social oppression? Is rehabilitation a vehicle in which the privileged class gets to say, you should be more like us? Is rehabilitation the equivalent to racial assimilation? And rehabilitation, control and uniformity get expressed in three areas. They get expressed in terms of disability, they get expressed in terms of our bodies, and they get expressed in terms of professionalism. The second thing in our society is the whole issue of control. When we combine control and disability, what happens is we see the disability as some type of threat. Many non-disabled people have a mindset where a disability is a fate far worse than death. And, oh my God, I would hate to be disabled, and strikes fear or dread in people. So our attempt, because we have that desire to control things, we see that disability as threatening the person's quality of life, threatening the person's success. So we automatically see cerebral palsy as the dangerous thing. The effect of doing therapy is that I then have to declare war on my own body. I have to see that what is dangerous is what is within me, which is a very strange mindset to work from. How can you be a danger to yourself? But yet within the premise of the rehabilitation seemed to be that the disability is the central characteristic in making a person's life better or worse. And the distinction people don't realize is there's an enormous schism between quality of life and ease of living.